Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome back to the podcast. Thank you. We haven't done a straight out AMP video in a while. I figured it was time to dust them off. I've had a lot of these made, but not released. You can only talk for so long about a token with a management that won't talk about it. But as it has been on such a ride lately, I figured it wouldn't hurt to pop one out as a reminder that AMP, the token, that sounds like a movie title, doesn't it? AMP, the token. It hasn't changed. The perception has, but the token itself hasn't. There's been a lot of grasping at straws over on like the AMP Reddit. I used to spend more time over there, but it's not for me anymore. It's a lot more price and a lot less how, and it's just not my cup of tea. I still visit from time to time, but just to lurk. This is not unique to AMP, by the way. It's effectively every crypto Reddit. They all have the same questions and the same speculations. When, how much, how soon, how high. Pretty standard fare with the occasional meme thrown in for comedic effect or to show that no matter how low the token goes, we still believe, baby. SafeMoon's still kicking them out. And that is pretty much the entire reason for the Doge community. I'll give you that, though. Some of those are clever. I mean, when your entire Reddit is devoted to making memes, you're going to come up with some good ones. Who, what, when, where? These are all good questions if you're looking at AMP from a purely investment standpoint. And you know what? That applies to any standpoint. Any investment, not just AMP. But the best question to ask, which rarely gets asked, is the why. Nobody asks why. Or they ask the wrong why. It's the Bitcoin mentality tied to a utility token. The why for Bitcoin price is more simple because more people buy it than sell it. And yes, that is it. Math. Academics with impressive titles and entire alphabets of credibility behind their names spend hours discussing why more people are buying it. Market mood, geopolitical instability, inflationary hedge. All of these things, and they are true, but the very basic fundamental truth that doesn't get discussed is really the most simple why. Because more people buy it than sell it. Bitcoin has no utility unto itself. It doesn't. It's a currency, but it's not being used as a currency. It's being used as a store of wealth. And it's a store of wealth that is extremely volatile. So when all of the apples are in the Bitcoin basket and Bitcoin wobbles, those apples leave, and they leave quick, creating more instability in the market. It's a cascading effect where you simply do not want to be the last guy out of the plane because the last guy doesn't get a parachute. Those are gone. And as goes Bitcoin, so goes the market. So our altcoin fates are tied to a volatile store of wealth that investors barely understand. And I think that is just great. I gotta love crypto. But let me get back to AMP because this is an AMP video. The why for AMP is simple. Because it's getting used. That is its design. I get more comments and emails. I mean, they're angry. They are calling me every name you can think of. We share them on the live stream, by the way. Some of these are pretty good. But they hammer me for not understanding AMP or how markets move and just generally being wrong about every word I say. Sir, ma'am, I humbly disagree. And the irony is I get my information from the white paper. The white paper is how AMP works. It's fundamental design, covering inception to implementation to organic growth to sustainment. It's all in there, and it makes sense to me. There are, of course, market factors. I'm not discounting those. But the crypto market moves first and foremost on the greater fool theory. And the greater fool theory states that an investment will be purchased in an overvalued state as long as there is a greater fool willing to overpay for what you overpaid for. It's called FOMO, and you see this daily all across the market. It's not an AMP thing. It's not a crypto thing. It's an investment thing. And it's been happening as long as there has been a market in any form. And it will continue to happen as long as there is a greater fool. The problem is when you run out of fools. That always seems to be the nut. The loop ring thing was great, by the way. They poured in on rumor. They bought on hype, and they bailed when the hype stopped. Not all of them. Not all of them. We got some new holders in here, but most of them bailed profitable, because if there is one thing AMP is good at right now, it is showing enough spirit to give late buyers their 5 to 10%, which is enough incentive to get them back on the roller coaster, up, down, up, down, up, down. Someone posted a tweet of a chicken standing on a stack of weights with the loop ring icon on him on the side of the weight. The chicken was flexing. All right. Therefore, rumor confirmed, it's going to be Flexa. I mean, really? That's a pretty cryptic message even for the internet, which is full of cryptic messages, man. But that's a stretch there, babe. I hold a lot of AMP. All right. Nobody wants this to be successful more than me. And you can disagree with what I'm saying until you're blue in the face. But the truth, as I see it, and Flexa seems to agree, is that AMP will grow and sustain on usage, implementation. And like it or not, that takes time. It might pump. It sure has been lately, but it won't sustain, and it sure hasn't lately. The 6 cent floor, that's where the pin is right now, is nothing new. We've already been here. We saw the 6 cents in April. From June to July, late July to September. There was a crash. Remember that? End of July. But from late July to September, it has been in and around 6 cents for a while. This is nothing different. It's not, because AMP doesn't move like that. And in over a year since April-ish, I want to say it's pretty well played out the way it should have. I believe in the token, but I also believe that AMP's run-up hasn't even properly started yet, because there is not enough utility backing it, buying the liquidity. And for all of the flaws in the crypto market, it invests conservatively, because big investors know that eventually there are no more fools. So it goes where it's supposed to go. It finds its true value. Stop listening to prophets, man. Start investing with your head. AMP is a good token, but it's a long token, and all the news in the world is not going to sustain the price. Only usage will sustain the price, and that takes time. And if someone will overpay you for your AMP, let them. Take it. Buy back after the hype and get more of it with their money. Trading 101. Yeah, I'm pretty sure no one's going to like this one, but at least I said it, so my conscience is clear. Hold the line on the AMP, but stop overpaying for it. All right, just stop. Let the other guy overpay. Selling an overvalued asset is not a betrayal. It's smart investing. And yeah, that's it, guys. Until next time, please be safe and please be smart with your money. Cheers.